Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you. It's a cold, snowy day in Wisconsin today on Monday, January 15th, 2018, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I hope everybody's kicking off the day and kicking off the week good. And I'm wondering how everybody did with our healthy challenge last week. A lot of you liked the video. There were so many of you who gave me thumbs up and shared it. Please keep doing that. I appreciate that so much. You know that there's somebody at work or one of your friends or somebody in your family who needs to hear some of these healthy tips or some of these challenges. So I hope that you share when you learn some good information. I hope you share it with others. But today we're talking about healthy challenge number 2, right? And what is that? We kind of have been leading up to that. Last week on Wednesday, we talked about insulin resistance. Specifically, we talked about how sugar makes you fat. So if you're on a health kick right now, if you are trying to lose weight, you need to pay attention because this thing is screwing you up. It is making your body inflamed. It is creating a lot of sugar, high glucose, high insulin. And when we have high insulin floating around, what happens next? It pulls glucose into a fat cell and stores it, and into another fat cell and into another fat cell, and makes us fat, right? So healthy challenge number 2 is cut out the high fructose corn syrup. And so today, this morning, I'm going to show you some examples, and I'm going to actually rattle off a huge list of things that I want you to look for. I want you to actually look through your pantry. We're going to look through mine in a little bit too, and I'm going to show you some good examples. But to get started, let's just look at this list. I actually accumulated a list of 30 things that potentially have high fructose corn syrup in it. So last week we talked about why it's so bad. Today, I just want you to get rid of it. So I do apologize. My little lovebird is chirping away in the background, and I apologize if that is annoying to you. But he's very happy today. He's flying around and he's chirping, and he wouldn't go back in. So apologize for that. But soda has high fructose corn syrup in it lots of times. So one, you really shouldn't be drinking soda anymore, but look at it. How about any form of candy? Those 2 things top the list. You know that all of the candy that you bought for Christmas, for Halloween, has tons and tons of not just sugar, but high fructose corn syrup, so it's even sweeter. Think about this. If you're one of those yogurt eaters, you don't like to eat a lot in the morning, but you may eat yogurt with some fruit on the top. Even if it's goat yogurt or if it's sheep yogurt, which are better alternatives than the cow's milk, because the cow's milk is super inflammatory, got a lot of extra inflammatory properties with the antibiotics and hormones that gets added to the cows, the factory farming. So goat and sheep yogurt are better for you, but if it's flavored, tons of high fructose corn syrup. Blah. So you got to watch for that. You have to read labels. Let me tell you a few other things that you might not realize has a lot of sugar. Salad dressings, frozen pizza, your bread and buns. I tell you, when I go in the grocery store, if you go down the bread aisle, every single bread product and buns that you pick up has high fructose corn syrup in it. There are very, very few, a select few, that don't. And it's horrible for you. So start looking for that and choose better. That's what I want you to do. Any of your canned fruits, like fruit cocktail, full of high fructose corn syrup. Your jellies and jams, any pre-made juice, even like V8 juice, lots of times has high fructose corn syrup in it. Anything that comes in a box probably has high fructose corn syrup. Your breakfast cereals, your granola bars, your cereal bars, your energy bars. Think about Pop-Tarts, sugar, high fructose corn syrup. I think about the Nutri-Grain bars, which are one of the most popular cereal bars. If you have that in your house, I want you to pick it up and I want you to look at the ingredient list, because what you're going to find is high fructose corn syrup is mentioned at least 3 times. Can you believe that? That's a lot of high fructose corn syrup. That is not a healthy product for you. You need to start looking at the things that you're eating and putting into your body a little bit differently, and this is one way to do it. So I'm going to rattle off a few more things that I want you to think about may have high fructose corn syrup, and then I'm going to show you a couple of things that I found so you can see it on the label. Ice cream. Horrible time finding any good ice cream without high fructose corn syrup. Of course, your chips and cookies and crackers. Coffee creamers. Coffee creamers, people. Tons of high fructose corn syrup. Your sports drinks, energy drinks, applesauce, any flavored oatmeal, cold cuts. Cold cuts have sugar added to them. That seems so dumb. Peanut butter, maple syrup, mayonnaise, canned soups, canned tomatoes, cranberry sauce, cottage cheese, iced tea, and pickles are all on the list. And this list I'm going to put out on my website and put it in my my emails as well. If you have not signed up to get some emails, please go to drkellyfelmer.com and you can easily sign up there. You're not getting tagged to anything except to start to get the emails that I send out where you can have this stuff in writing right in front of you. But I am going to go ahead and change the camera angle here for a moment because my son, one of my sons actually works at one of the grocery stores in town. And yesterday he got a humongous box of dented and wrecked products so that they couldn't put on the shelves. And he got to take that home. And so I looked through some of those and I found a few products that I can show you that have high fructose corn syrup in it. And let me take just a moment to say good morning, Stacia and Christy. Hi, Todd. Hello, Emily. Thanks everybody for joining. Don't forget to share the video too. So this is a dented can of tomato soup, right? So it's tomatoes, for heaven's sakes. You think this is healthy for you, right? But let me turn it around and let you see. Okay, tomato puree, which is water, tomato paste, and then high fructose corn syrup. Second ingredient. Really? I have some other tomato soup in my cupboard that has no sugar added, no high fructose corn syrup. They just want to make sure that you buy their brand, high fructose corn syrup. Yuck! All right, here's another damaged thing. This is not something that I eat in my house. I only have it here because my son brought home a box full of food and half of it we are going to give away, and I'm going to feel really guilty about that because it's not good enough for me to keep in my house and I feel bad giving it to somebody else. But this packaging was wrecked, so the company doesn't want to put it on their shelf. And I'm sure everybody is familiar with mayonnaise and products that are similar to mayonnaise or a Miracle Whip. But let's look at the ingredient list here. Water, vinegar, soybean, modified food starch. What does that mean? High fructose corn syrup followed by sugar. Wow, that's adding a lot of sugar in there. Okay, high fructose corn syrup. It's hidden in so many different things. And now this other product, so I had 3 products that I can show you. 2 because my son brought them home from the store. And then this one, croutons, fat-free Parmesan Ranch croutons I actually did find in my cupboard this morning. This is the only thing I found in my cupboard that has high fructose corn syrup because years ago, I got rid of everything that has high fructose corn syrup. And that's your challenge. I want you to throw away everything that has high fructose corn syrup in it. Find a better product. So, in all honesty, this has been in my cupboard. It expired in February of 2012. It's kind of old. We aren't eating it, which is a good thing. I was really actually kind of surprised it was in there, but yeah, 2012. So this was bought in 2011. So it's really, really, really old, but let me show you the ingredients here. Again, sorry, this one is a little shiny. Enriched flour. Okay, that's horrible. Malted barley, niacin. Okay, where is it? Second line, at the end of the line, high fructose corn syrup. Really? Croutons are just stale bread, but they have to add flavoring. They want you to buy it, so they add sugar to it. So I'm going to open up my pantry here so you can see. You are giving up high fructose corn syrup, people. Okay, this is your challenge. I hope you all drank water last week. I hope you're still drinking water. Okay, challenge number 1 was only drink filtered water. This week I want you to keep drinking filtered water, but you can drink some other things as well. Last week I wanted you to do only water to prove a point that you should be feeling differently if you actually did it. And I can't prove if you did or didn't. It's all on your shoulders. I can't make you healthy. I can only give you the things, give you the tools that you need to help change some things. So when I open up my pantry, what do we see? This is another huge culprit, ketchup. Ketchup. And so this is organic Heinz because tomatoes are full of pesticides. Blah. So we choose organic. But if I read the ingredients here, organic tomatoes, organic distilled vinegar, organic cane sugar. So there is a sweetener in here, but it's not high fructose corn syrup. And actually, they also put on the label, no GMOs, no high fructose corn syrup. Okay? So ketchup is going to get you every time, people. It sure is. Now, I showed you an example of a tomato soup. And so what have I got here? I've got red pepper and tomato soup. This is really good. And what's in here? There's a little bit of reduced fat milk, water, tomato paste, red bell peppers, a little bit of cane sugar here as well. So we're not getting rid of sugar 100%, and we want to limit it wherever we can. But remember what I told you last week, how much more damaging, 10 to 20 times more damaging fructose is over glucose. And sugar is sucrose and glucose. Okay, so the high fructose corn syrup is even more concentrated than just fructose. So it's horrible for you. It is giving you a great big punch in the gut with high dense amount of sugar, which makes your body go crazy and you have to adapt for it. So no high fructose corn syrup, yet it's a great tomato soup. Okay, the point of today is just to give you some examples of different things. Organic tomato paste. What's in here? Tomatoes. Nothing else. Those are the types of things you want in your pantry. What else can I show you? This one I didn't look at earlier, but it's some organic chili, because people complain about my chili in this house. So sometimes I add some different things in there to try to give it more flavor. This is all organic. Red beans, onions, water, oh, there's some soy in here. I don't like that. But no sugar. There's some rice flour, garlic, spices, but no high fructose corn syrup. Yay, we can keep it, right? So again, let me see. Anything else? Let's see what we have in here for granola bars, because, you know, we all need snacks on the go, right? So let's see. Rolled oats, tapioca syrup, sugar, sunflower oil, sea salt, vanilla, baking soda. All right, so no high fructose corn syrup. Fantastic. Is it perfect? Nothing in a box is perfect. But what have we done? We have cut out high fructose corn syrup. And that's the challenge for you today. Let's see. This one is just a nut medley. And what's in here? It's hard to read. Toasted multigrain rolled oats, some sugar. Oh, there's wheat in here. I didn't know that. Whole grain rye, molasses, natural sweetened apples, cashews, tapioca syrup. No high fructose corn syrup. So why am I showing you guys this stuff out of my pantry? Because as soon as I say cut something out, the first thing that people do is say, well, there's nothing to eat. Well, you know, I have to give my kids something fast to eat. There are always better choices. That's the first step. Make a better choice. Once you start making those choices routinely, guess what happens? You start making even better ones. We often make our own energy balls, oat balls. I gave you a recipe for that last summer, actually. We use that a lot when we're going out to exercise or doing events, things like that. So we don't even use the prepackaged ones. The more we can get away from things in a box, the better, people, the better. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Let me switch the camera back here because I am going to look at what some of you wrote. And good morning and hello. Hi, Julie. Nice to see you. What about fructose in fruit? Julie says. Absolutely, Julie. I talked about it last week. Specifically this morning, I'm talking about processed foods that add high fructose corn syrup. But what we talked about last week was sugar making you fat and what sugar is made of, glucose and sucrose, and how fructose, which, yes, is found in fruit as well. The biggest thing with the fructose in fruit is that you can eat an orange and get fructose and you're going to be okay because the fiber and the vitamin C mitigate the negative effects of that fructose. When you just drink a nice big glass of orange juice or cranberry juice or grape juice, tons and tons and tons of fructose and no balance. So it's horrible for us. It's worse than soda, as a matter of fact, if you're not eating it with anything else that gives you the fiber and more vitamin C to mitigate the fructose. So you're absolutely right. You want to still eat your fruits because we all need more vitamin C, but it's how nature made it as a complete bundle in that orange that gives you tons of fiber when you eat the whole thing and don't just do the juice. So great question, Julie. Thanks for joining. Kimmy asks me, where do you do your grocery shopping? Well, I usually go 3 places. Actually, Woodman's, which is in Howard. So I apologize to everyone who's not in the Green Bay area, but you probably have a Costco. I do shop at Costco for certain things as well. And then I go to Festival for the other things that I can't find or I need specifically in their natural section. So those are the 3 places that I go routinely. Good morning, Julie. Good morning, Brian. Rhonda, do you find fructose free in regular groceries or do you shop at health food stores? So I don't really shop at the health food store, but every grocery store now has a section that's organic or that's natural or that has some section where they're paying more attention to what ingredients are in there. You still have to read every label. Okay. So it doesn't matter where you shop, you're going to find some things. And then guess what? You can get a lot of things online too. Amazon, VitaCost. So there's many different ways to get the products that you're looking for. But Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, things like that, that's across the nation. Those are great places to shop as well. Let's see. Good morning, Brian. Hi, Christy and Misty. Good morning. You're welcome, Julie. Glad that you're here. Misty says, sometimes we stress too much about removing all the bad things for the info on how to choose better. I need to find a balance with this. Absolutely. It's not easy, Misty. It's a process. And so one thing at a time you need to focus on. And what will happen as well, I showed you a bunch of labels. And so today you're going to look for high fructose corn syrup. Right? But there may be something else in there that you want to avoid too. So you may read through it and go, oh, yay, no high fructose corn syrup. And then, in a month from now, you learn something else where, oh, I don't want to be eating soy. And oh my gosh, there's soy in this product. That's the reason to get rid of it. It didn't have high fructose corn syrup, so that was good. So it's a building process and everybody is different in what they specifically need to avoid. So that's actually one of my bugaboos when I see lists of things where, you have to avoid all of these foods, right? But it's really actually a good food for you unless you're avoiding it for a specific reason. And there can be different reasons for different people that they may want it or they may not want it. So no matter what kind of diet, no matter what kind of list that tells you it's good or it's bad, there may be a side of the story on each side. High fructose corn syrup, no other side of the story. Truly, it is horrible for you for the reasons that I gave you last week. If you didn't see that video last week, how sugar makes you fat, go back and look at it. At the end of that, or what I've posted on my website, drkellyfelmer.com, has a list of about 10 different books that give you all of the research that you need to prove to you, if you don't believe me, of why what I'm telling you is true and why it's really, really, really going to improve your health, going to stop the obesity epidemic if we cut out high fructose corn syrup. That's the first little thing to do. There's always something better. And I know a lot of people bring up the Whole30. That's fantastic. Whole30, what does it do? Makes you stop eating processed foods. Perfect. Great. You know, there may be things on there that different people are allergic to or that they don't need or want, but in general, stopping all of the processed foods will help you be healthier and help you lose weight and help get rid of the bad sugar that you don't want. Oh, great. Rhonda says in Illinois they have a Woodman's. I had no idea. So that's great. Woodman's has really good prices on a lot of things. But still, when I go into Woodman's, I have a pattern that I know exactly where I'm going and what I need. I do not get lost in all of their aisles. I go down the organic vegetables and fruits, and then I cut over to get some of my milk alternatives, and then I go up and down the 2 aisles that they have for natural things. Does that mean everything in their natural food section is good for you? No, absolutely not. But I know what I get from there, and I grab what I need and I get right back out. So don't get lost in all of that processed food. Oh, I know one more thing I wanted to show you. I'm going to switch my camera here again because I keep looking at that one apparently anyway. I wanted to show you, I don't have a whole bunch in here, but what is this? There's no label, so that's probably a good thing, actually. So this is homemade maple syrup. You know, when you think about all of your condiments and dressings and things that you put on top of any of your food, well, my dad makes maple syrup. And a good friend of mine from Happy Sap, Becky Jorns, and her husband, they make great syrup as well. And so when you buy syrup in the grocery store, if your syrup in your cupboard, pull it out and look at it. There's not even maple syrup in it. It is completely fake. Completely fake. No maple syrup. No real maple syrup in there. It's all maple syrup flavoring so that it's like it. This is just evaporated sap. This is what you're left with. Maple syrup. You evaporate off all of the water. Is there sugar in here? Absolutely. Should we eat a ton of it? No, we shouldn't. But it's a much better product when we do want a little bit of sweetener than buying the fake stuff in the grocery store. Okay. Dennis says, is high fructose corn syrup ever labeled as something else on the food label? That's a really, really good question. And where is, my friend who usually chimes on, he's got the great big list of all the different names of what sugar can be. And I don't know. Honestly, it could be. As far as I know, well, actually, I do believe, and this is going to be, Dennis, something that you actually just need to Google, because I am pretty sure in the last year that the manufacturers have requested to be able to change it. It used to be that they had to call it high fructose corn syrup. I think they can just call it fructose, and probably they can call it something else. I apologize that I don't know that off the top of my head, but Google it. Google what other names is high fructose corn syrup, and you're going to find that out. And if anybody knows that already, please add it to the comments. I really, really appreciate that. Karen, hello, I'm just starting to follow your advice and eating healthier. Great, good job. What about organic soy? No soy. No soy, no soy, no soy in any form. Super inflammatory. Okay, yes, you're choosing organic. That's always better. But soy messes up your thyroid, and soy messes up your hormones. It's a phytoestrogen. So both of those things are the reasons why I say no to soy and soy-based products. Now, when you are really getting on your health journey and being really tough and really strict, when I first started to change my diet, I cut soy out 100%. what you're going to find when you're reading food labels is that it's in a lot of different things as soy lecithin, and that is in a tiny little amount, but wherever we still can avoid it 100%, that would be the ideal. Okay, well, fantastic. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you appreciated the labels that I was able to share with you. Again, I'm going to put this list out on the website so that you can see there's no brands tied to this. It's general information of products that typically have high fructose corn syrup. What's your challenge? I challenge you. Health challenge number 2 is cut out all high fructose corn syrup. Throw the foods away. I'm gonna break with this. I truly am. It expired in 2012 and it was still in my cupboard. I don't know how it got by all of the other things. There is nothing else in my cupboard with high fructose corn syrup, but there will always be something that fools you or something that you forget about, and that's okay. You learn and you grow and you modify and we do our best, right? So I'm truly throwing this away. Remember, it expired in February of 2012. Pathetic. It was in my cupboard yet. Blah. But shows you that we're not eating it, and that's really good. So I wish you lots of strong power, and you're going to fill your garbage can today if you haven't ever done this before, and it's okay. Okay? The sooner you get rid of it, the better your health is going to be. Work on it this week whenever you have time. Start looking closer in the grocery store and then take a look at the 30 different things that I'm going to put out there on a list, and then look at yours. So your pickles, run and look at your pickles. High fructose corn syrup. Bev, I saw you join. Pickles, high fructose corn syrup. Pickles are your favorite. Make sure you're getting ones that don't have that. Okay? You guys have a great day. I really appreciate you being here. I appreciate you going to my website and sharing the information with others. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week, and thanks for joining me.